Hello, I wanted to make a video and show the solution because it's kind of a challenging one, and I figured it'd be better if I create a video and talk about it instead of trying to write an answer. So let me show you what I have here. So what I did is, I copied the temp data, the inline load script that you've shown, and I've added this calculated column, which is essentially a product code and a period, combination of those two. And then I created a mapping table out of them. This is going to be used to find a total value that is associated with a product and a period. Then next thing I did is I created this script that is essentially looping through each available period and finding the max period per product, so it's grouped by product, for that period. And I'm recording like which period is it, that this combination of product and max periods is for. And I have the where statement here that essentially goes, specifies, look at this temp data table and find the data for a period that is less than or equal to whatever is the current period that the for each loop is looping through. The last thing I did is I created a, essentially took this max values temp table and brought the period, brought the code product, brought the max period for that product and that period, and used that mapping table that I've created here to find the total for the product and the period. So in a data model, this looks like this. You have your original table plus the key field, which you can drop, and the max values table, which is the new table that's going to have the period and then the product code as well as the max period available for this product for the selected period and a corresponding total of that max period. So, like 2025-11, here's the products, here's the max periods, here's the corresponding values for each product and that period. So this is the backhand side of it. On the front end, I simply dropped added the filter pane with the period field and created a table that's using this max code product, max period, and max period total fields. So these are not expressions, these are actually dimensions from this new table that was created. So you can see here's max code products, max period, and max period total. And the idea here is if you select the date, like February 2025, like in the example that you have here, you have the corresponding max periods. Like for D, it's February 2022, and it is, and then the corresponding value. And same thing for the product C, 2023, 511. For product C, 2023, 551, and 2022, 03, 682 for product B, and so on. So, and we can take a look at another example. If we select 2022, 03, 2203, that one, we will see the data updated. D is 2022-02, correct, with the corresponding 126, and it is there. 2020-01, 867 for C, 2020-01, 867, and so on and so forth. So this works. The only thing that it doesn't do is the very last thing you said that when no periods is selected, you'll have the latest or the maximum periods and corresponding totals that are associated with this. So with this solution, you can't really do that, but what you could do is in the fields section, set in the field settings always one selected value, and that way save the save the app with the latest period selected. That way when the user opens it, they'll see the max period per product and the corresponding totals of that product. So for 2025-07 product D, it's 406, just like it is here, and so on and so forth for the other options. So this is the best solution that I can think of. You likely will not be able to find a formula or an expression that will calculate this. Not for a product total, like you said. You find an expression that will find the max period. That's doable, but not for that period's total, because if we take a look at the this first example, 2502 for product C, the maximum would be this one, but there's also another one for 2020-02. So there are two values that are available for that product that have that fall within a period that's earlier than 2025-02, and there's two values. So you can find a latest date, but then what are you going to do with the total? So you can find a maximum total, because that's going to be this, and that's not going to be a representative of that period. So there's that challenge. Best solution that I can think of would be to use the script and make these calculations. So essentially pre-calculate all of the available options for each date, and then let the user simply select the date that they want to have on the front end. It's not very scalable, but it is a solution. So if you desperately need something like this to work, I would suggest writing this short script and simply dropping a filter box and a basic table with the new columns from the new table, and you'll get this accurate calculation of max period and corresponding max period total for each product. Hope this helps. Give me a like, mark the question or the solution as a solution if you can. It's going to help me. It'll, and I hope like I said, I hope the answer is the one that you're looking for.